Every day, 30 million students eat their lunch from their school cafeterias, 20 million of which are free lunches. This isn't cheap. In fact, feeding students costs the National School Lunch Program almost $14 billion a year. However, up to $1.3 billion of that budget is wasted by kids throwing food in the trash. Why do kids waste so much food every day? Why is school lunch the way it is, with overall opinion so low? We asked the manager of the cafeteria, Miss Caroline Drake, about the process of making lunch and the restrictions she and the rest of the lunch staff have in dealing with making lunch.
We have to follow the recipes. The only thing I can adjust is seasonings because they don't have any caloric value. You know what I mean? I can't add any calories. It has to be, we have to serve the serving size that it's supposed to be. We have to stick to all of that. Then we have a worksheet that tells us what comes on each meal service. Like this one today is going to be calzone, how many calzones you get, how much marinara, the serving size on the vegetables.
She's right. The Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act was passed in December of 2010 by then President Obama. This added multiple constraints to the daily lunch, including limiting the milk served to 1% and fat-free, smaller serving sizes, requiring a fruit or vegetable for every meal, heavily inhibiting non-whole grain ingredients, and practically restricting the use of any salty and fatty foods. These new restrictions have had a heavy impact on wasted lunch meals. As established earlier, students waste millions of dollars worth of food every year, with the majority of it being the fruits and vegetables they are required to have on their food trays. This does not take into account the food that is unused and has to be thrown away at the end of the day. It is already known that fruits and vegetables are always second to desserts in the minds of children. It is one of the reasons kids discard their fruits and vegetables so easily, for the healthy foods served just don't taste as good compared to other things you can get in the cafeteria line, such as chips, cookies, and ice cream. But fruits and vegetables are not the only part of school lunch that people dislike. Main courses are generally unappealing as well. The different options of school lunch available are the chicken sandwich, chicken nuggets, nachos, pizza, Philly cheesesteak, French toast, salad, orange chicken, Italian dunkers, calzones, and quesadillas. However, students still have to eat these foods, so we interviewed a few of them to find out their favorites.
What is your favorite lunch meal?
Oh, the nachos.
If you're allowed to change school food, what would you change?
Everything Michelle Obama did. Bring back pizza. Good pizza. Pizza every single day, really.
What's your favorite lunch meal?
Italian dunkers, for sure.
And if you were allowed to change one thing on school lunches, what would you change?
I would actually, not like the school lunches themselves, but add more dessert options, just because I feel like they're lacking in that category.
What is your favorite lunch meal?
Probably the nachos.
If you were allowed to change school lunch, what would you change?
Probably the amount they give you. They don't give you enough.
What's your least favorite meal?
My least favorite meal? Oh, Italian dunkers all the way. I hate Italian dunkers.
What is it?
I mean, I used to love Italian dunkers, but recently they've gotten sloppy with them. They're kind of greasy, cold, grody.
What about the chicken nuggets?
Oh, chicken nuggets used to be my favorite. Popcorn chicken with Italian dressing in elementary school. That was the go-to.
So what would you say has changed about the chicken nuggets?
They kind of taste like cardboard now. And I'm dead serious. I'd rather take some cardboard, put some salt and pepper on it, and eat it.
What is your favorite lunch meal?
I'd have to say the cheese quesadillas.
All right. If you were allowed to change school lunch, what would you change?
I'd have Taco Tuesday and Chick-fil-A Thursday.
What is your favorite lunch meal?
Calzones. I do not have one currently.
If you're allowed to change school food, what would you change?
Italian dunkers, they're just gross. Probably just the lunch line in general.
In addition to these interviews, 70 students were surveyed on their favorite foods. The survey found that the top two favorites were the chicken nuggets and the nachos. On the opposite side, the least popular option was the Philly cheesesteak, followed by a tie between the chicken sandwich, orange chicken, salad, pizza, and quesadillas. Some major reasons as to why these lunch options may be so unpopular is that they lack taste, diversity, and are in most cases unappealing to the majority of students. For example, some students have described the cheese from the Italian dunkers as tasting like plastic. Furthermore, many say that the chicken nuggets, one of the more popular school meals, taste like cardboard. The regulations placed on portion size, sodium levels, sugar, fat content, and calorie count could be major contributors to why students have these opinions. With these restrictions, schools are forced to cut down on a variety of meals even more and offer options that sacrifice taste for health. If schools fail to follow these restrictions, they will forfeit the opportunity to receive federal grants. Many schools require this money to be able to operate, and therefore are forced to abide by these restrictions.
Are there any plans for, that you know of, any additional companies, one day you guys, I don't know, have a little thing or Chick-fil-A or something like that, or is that not allowed?
No, usually schools that do that do not participate in the federal guidelines. We will not be doing it because in Clay County we need the help of the funds. Well, it helps everybody in the whole county. When you just decide that a county decides they're not going to have that, then your cost of your meals is going to go up. And you're going to be paying full price for everything.
Although numerous new restrictions have been implemented in recent years, the quality of food has not changed in decades. Mr. Poole confirmed such in an interview we conducted with him.
So basically, I would probably never eat school lunch. The problem for me is my mindset. Ever since I was a little kid, I always just kind of had this idea that school lunches were gross. So it doesn't even matter if they had good food down there, I probably wouldn't eat it. So the only way to get me down there and to actually try something they'd have to figure out a way to kind of break through that mental wall I have. Figure out, a way to appeal to me by offering some food that I really like, or if I were to walk in the cafeteria for me to be like, oh, that looks really good, or that smells really good, and for me to actually try it, and then maybe it tastes good, so maybe I'll try more stuff. But at the moment, I can't really think of anything realistically that they could do to make me want to eat school lunch.
Unfortunately for him, all it took was a polite question and he reluctantly agreed to sit down and try some nachos, the most popular meal according to our student survey. Mr. Poole said how school food had not been loved when he was in the glory days of his childhood, and his opinion has not changed.
Try these fries first. The fries are very soggy, but you know what? They're not as bad as I would think. Some of them are alright. Alright.
Here we go, moment of truth.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. Yeah, it's edible.
That's why they serve it, otherwise there would
Yeah.
be complaints, but
Well, it's got a little taste to it. I could taste a little bit of the barbecue. It's like you said, it's not as bad as I thought, but it's also not good. I wouldn't actively be like, oh, they're having nachos and I gotta go down and get it. However, if I had not brought a lunch and I had some cash on me and I was really hungry, I'd have to be really hungry, I could see myself spending $2. What is it, $2.50 you said? $2.50.
However, it may be possible to break the stigma that teachers and students have regarding school food. The appearance of food often dictates one's decision to eat it. Therefore, a strong visual appeal would be a great leap towards better overall opinion, even if the general taste has not changed. Also, addressing the constraints that are currently put upon the cafeteria workers to comply with ingredient requirements would positively impact the response to school meals. Flexibility surrounding the current regulations regarding salt, fat, whole grain ingredients, and calorie counts would potentially allow for tastier and more positively received food. The effort to improve visual presentation and change nutritional regulations may not be quick or simple solutions, but may ultimately get students back at the lunch table and food out of the trash.